In a world of shortcuts, our today's guest took the long road ahead. From Ivy League universities to green pastures of Hyderabad, building Sid's farm into a household name is no small feat. Today, we are milking story of Mr. Kishore Indukuri, founder and CEO of Sid's farm, for all its worth, literally and figuratively. Welcome back to Brunch with Boss, the tastiest way to learn from the bowl in business. Welcome to Brunch with Boss.
Hi,
Kishore.
hi Uncle. Welcome. Thank you for covering me and Sid's farm.
Kishore Garu, we are on a commute to the nearest brew house, CO2 brew house. Let's have a good brunch over there. Okay. And meanwhile, let's not waste time and let's have some conversation over our commute. Okay.
Let's do it.
Right. So, how is your day started so far?
So far, it's been great. I had a couple of calls, with our purchase guy Ravi, and Ravi is planning a trip to Pune. So just discussing few things. Usually my day starts with looking at the sales of the previous day. This is a habit I didn't have before, but I recently started to inculcate this, that I begin my day with reviewing all the sales.
Mm-hmm.
So my strategic partner Prashant also helps me prepare the daily sales review for me, and that's how I start my day.
Great. On a busy day like this, what's your go-to breakfast and coffee?
I've been trying to lose some weight, so I've been having a little less breakfast than I used to have, previously. So I'm looking forward to today's brunch this morning at the CO2 brew house.
Oh, when you first heard about Brunch with Boss, what was your reaction?
I thought it's a interesting concept. It's a great way to sit for a casual conversation, sort of understand, maybe share my perspective, understand.
So, do you remember the last time you took a completely unplanned day off?
Not really, right? I think that's the beauty of being a founder, right? The only thing that goes on in your head is the business, right? So there's never really switching off, right? So you're always on it, and I love it that way, right? I mean, I don't mind one bit of it,
Okay.
Because that's what is needed. That's what is needed of me, and that's what I try and do. I do take breaks. It's not that I don't take a break, but never completely switched off. It's always, how to go to the next step is always on my mind.
Okay. So, what song or playlist do you have on repeat lately? Since you mentioned you are a lover of music as well.
I like, ఎక్కువ I listen to Telugu and Hindi songs.
Okay.
Song that has a good hook to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, Tava Tava is a song that I love listening to. Right. Slightly older, Gungru is another beautiful song that I like. I like Hrithik Roshan's dance in it. So overall, I think the dance routine sequence is super.
So, who was the last person you called for advice?
From the Hyderabad ecosystem, Naidu Darapaneni is somebody that I frequently speak to.
From Mera Events?
From Mera Events,
Right.
yes, that's right. He's been a part of Sid's farm journey for us for some time.
Great.
He and Ram Nutaki, both of them are partners in fact with him. So those are the guys that I frequently interact with. We have a good team now, right?
Great.
Working closely with them, and
So, coming to the funny and quickie question, if you could have brunch with anyone in the world, who would it be?
most recent, fascination is with Nitin Kamath, right? I would love to have.
Please take place.
I'd love to have a brunch with, Nitin of Zero Down.
Okay. Okay.
I was doing a course once, and Nitin was, I didn't meet him. This was during COVID, so he was a mentor on a show with us. So I did meet him, but virtually.
Okay.
So I'd love to meet him and just say hi to him.
Great one. Great choice. Let's head to the brunch now.
Thank you, Uncle.
Welcome to Brunch with Boss, Kishore Garu.
Thank you, Uncle, for having me.
We are absolutely delighted to have you and host you today.
It's a great setup, Uncle. I love to have this conversation with you, and thank you for having me.
Great. So let's start. When was the last time you had a sip of coffee or tea without thinking deeper about the quality reports of milk?
If I sit in a good coffee shop like this, the only thing that I wonder about is, why is my milk not here? Typically, that's the question. I would want our milk to be everywhere. So that's what. So how can we do a great partnership? Is how I always, and when, is what definitely I always think about.
Definitely.
This is great that I'm having to, spend some time casually, talking to you over a coffee.
So what is the one big misconception about dairy farming?
See, that's a great question, Uncle. A lot of people, general perception is it's just like agriculture, right? It's an extension of agriculture. Or see, dairy farming is actually pretty deep, right? Probably like everything else. The only little twist to dairy is it's that you need to be on it every day. Right? There are typically no breaks, right? Especially when you're a small dairy farmer. You have to milk in the morning, you have to milk in the evening, and you have to continue that every day, for 365 days. You don't imagine that when you first start, right? So when we typically work with a dairy farmer also, we love to work with a farmer who has already experienced it. Somebody new getting into it, especially me, I did not have a sense of it, right? Till it, really, I really felt it, right? Because a lot of people told me, it's a super difficult field, Kishore, don't get into it, So I spent some time initially before I started a farm, visiting few farms that were doing a great job. People said it's a difficult field, but I never really, saw it deeply until I started it. I'll tell you how our first year was, right? First year we started to sell milk. So our team, when I say me, our team used to wake up at 4 in the morning, 4 to 5, milking our cows. 5 to 5:30 was, quickly packaging that milk, and 5:30 or 6:30 was home delivery. And it only got more and more intense as we scaled initially, right? And it never became easier. It only became tougher until, we did a whole bunch of other things, right? We got into a little bit of processing. What I mean by that is a simple pasteurization. So the dairy farming is a pretty intense field because it's something that you do every day.
Of course, it is logistical nightmare and operationally intensive affair.
Yeah.
So what was your life before Sid's Farm, and where exactly this started all in your mind?
See, I grew up here in Hyderabad, and JNTU, Kukatpalli is where I studied. That's where I did my 10th. 11th and 12th, I studied at LFJC. Always worked hard, because for my parents, education was a way out to, being better. So they always pushed me to work harder. 11th and 12th was LFJC. After that, got into IIT Kharagpur. Studied for 4 years there. After that, got a call to go to US. Like everybody at that time, US was an option. So went to US to do my master's and also followed it with a PhD. After my PhD, 6 years I worked for Intel in chip manufacturing. Right. Last 3 years was a beautiful experience for me personally at Intel. That is where I got to really understand myself, and that was when I felt like I can come back home and do something on my own. And that is how the first seed of thought, right? I had a little bit of savings from my stint in the US, came back with that savings, and that's how.
Since you mentioned your corporate career here, so how was it? Was it really scary to give away the fat paycheck and comfortable lifestyle? What exactly was the biggest doubt in your mind at the time when you were quitting your comfortable, cushy job?
See, I was shadowed by the prospect of doing something exciting. I was never really worried, about what if it would not work, right? I'm a eternal optimistic, right? If you talk to the people who are close to me, I'm super optimistic everything in my in life, right? So, and I never looked at the what if it would not work, right? The only confidence I had always, right? I worked hard, I studied this and this. Somebody would give me a job in teaching, right? I would probably become a teacher somewhere, and I know I'd get probably 50,000 or 1 lakh. Maybe people would pay. If it doesn't work, I can go back to do. I love teaching. So I thought somebody will give me an assistant professor or a professor job. That was my backup, right? Always, that is the backup. I always.
So modest of you.
Right. So.
Would you please throw some light on the story of your Sid's Farm name? Why exactly Sid's Farm? Is it your son's name or something? How is it associated? I mean,
yeah. See, when we the first came up with this thought of doing good milk, right? We had, when we moved back from the US, we had a 2-year-old kid, Siddharth, at that time. We were looking for good milk for him, and the options then in Hyderabad, I was looking at from Hyderabad, were limited, right? So typically when we go to US or Europe and you look at a supermarket, the number of options that you have for natural organic milk or food are many. You probably have 20-25 brands sitting in shelves across something like Whole Foods. India, we didn't have any brand, at least at that time. When I looked at Hyderabad, we didn't have any brand like that was trying to do this. So I thought, why not take up this problem? I was always interested in agriculture. Why not take up this problem, go into the depth of it and solve it? And that's how Sid's Farm started. And we were looking for inspiration, right? We were looking for inspiration. So we felt like, if we can attach a promise, it is something that would emotionally tie me down, right? Something that my core values that I believe in is what, I want to tie it down as a purpose to the company. That's how the name Sid's Farm. It is a promise from a parent to his child saying he'll produce the best milk possible, and that is what we deliver to this promise. Till now, in the last 13 years of our existence, 12 years of our existence, 2012 to now, we've never ever, right? The quest is always to get better. We do an average of 13,000 tests every day on our milk.
Oh my God.
Every can of milk goes through rigorous testing, right? And no customer of us have asked us to do this, right? It is a promise. How do we deliver this value? That is the root from where we started. So that promise is the one that drives us back to the value that we have to give to our customers.
So how was it like for you in the earliest 6 months, first 6 months, while you thought of setting up Sid's Farm?
Yeah.
How was it? Certainly, you are new to the field, and how exactly you faced those challenges, and what was that grind exactly?
Pretty tough, Uncle. So let me explain, right? When I say pretty tough, I was saying, people told me, cautioned me, dairy farming is a tough business. I said, I can do it, right? So, but when we really got into the grind of it, right? We went. I didn't know anything about a cow, right? So started with a NABARD book. Met a doctor from the university, right? From the Rajendranagar University. He was a great friend. Met him as I was doing this. I would read the NABARD book. It would tell you how to pick a cow. Ravi was the doctor that I worked with. He said, "Sir, look at the beauty of a cow and buy it." Right? I didn't know what that meant. Right? Beauty of a cow. How do you look at the right? So pretty much everything was from scratch, right? And so we went, bought our first set of 20 cows, started to. And then we said, we'll understand how to do dairying. Everything was an experiment, right? And everything was flying. And my savings, whatever were they were flying off, right? See, just to give you a number, 100 cows is a crore of investment. A crore just goes off like that with 100 cows, right?
The burn rate is quite
It's quite high, and it is a field that takes a good amount of money, right? We were learning, making a lot of mistakes. First 6 months, even though FMD is a disease that cows get, right? Foot and mouth disease, and we got hit with FMD right in the first 6 months. And our cows that were producing close to 120 liters of milk, within a week of them contracting FMD, the milk dropped to 15 liters, from 120 to 15. We thought we had 120 liters of milk, let's start selling to customers, and within a week, dropped to 15 liters,
That's
right?
quite a shocker.
And once cows contract FMD, there's nothing you can do about it, they never recover. As our milk volume increased, customers started liking, the taste of it. The trust that we said, people resonated with it. As we hit 100 liters, that 4 became 3:30 in the morning, 3 in the morning, then 2:30. We were waking up at 1:30 in the morning just so that we can deliver this milk that we were producing direct to customers' home by 6:30. To deliver at 6:30, we had to wake up at 1:30. And we were doing this twice a day. For the first 1.5 years, we followed this routine. We got hit with accidents.
Oh my God.
Because, we were traveling every day, twice a day. Milk was traveling, our people were traveling. Got hit. Every possible kind of scenario happened. But I would not trade this, the experience that I went through for anything else, right? This is what really sort of shapes you.
It's all about the journey.
It's all about the journey, right? That is I always wanted a bigger kick in my life. I got as many kicks as I wanted. Right, so it's a beautiful.
That's quite a good one there.
Yeah,
So coming to when we say grind, building product is one aspect of business,
Yeah.
and building trust in customers is another game altogether. How exactly you as a founder and Sid's Farm as a brand ventured out to reach out to your first 100 customers and build trust with them?
See, any question, right? The first 3 years of our journey, first 3-4 years of a journey, I took all the calls of our customers. Whether the customer wanted milk or a customer had any question about the milk. Milk is thin, milk is thick, whatever they felt about the milk, I was talking with our customers. Second, almost all the events in communities, I did them in the first 3-4 years, right? I would sit in a community, interact with customers, understand. So that gave me a good perspective on what was the pain of the customer. The initial pain was what I sort of imagined, right? What me and my wife sort of imagined, that this is a pain point. And slowly, as we started talking to more and more customers, we felt that this was a real pain point that they were experiencing, that they were trusting. But as we were reading a little bit, then we realized that I read some literature and I found that we should pasteurize milk. There are some risks inherently if you do raw milk. Now we are starting to do 500-600 liters of milk a day. Started understanding now a little more seriously about dairy processing as a sector. Till then, I was only in the mind of a farmer, right? They do a little bit of dairy farming, maybe grow some vegetables, create this basket and give it to our customer. Then my perspective changed when, I figured out that we needed to get into the depth of dairy, right? So we needed to add a mini pasteurization to our list of tools that we had to add. That gave us wings, right? Also got a hit, right? Sometimes when you buy a new machinery, you think it will solve all of your problems. It doesn't, right? It actually initially creates a lot more problems, right? Till now, it was only cows that we had to figure out. Now we have to figure out machines as well, right? I remember, we bought this machine, right? It was a pasteurizer. Pasteurization is basically heating milk and cooling. So you have compressor that is chilling your milk down. You don't have enough money to have a backup of every tool that you bought, right? So this compressor would fail once every month.
Oh my God.
It would develop a hairline crack, and it would crack. And in the middle of the night, the milk would not cool down. Right? You heated the milk.
Yeah.
Now you have to chill it down. And our guys were trying to figure out. Had to go in my car. Find a guy from Paradise who would repair fridges. Bring him at night in my car and get the tool fixed. Otherwise, the milk would. And we went through several iterations. Right? Our team also slowly figured out how to do this. With one tool. They build the depth of it. Right? One night, I remember one evening, I had to call all of my customers. We were sorry, tomorrow you won't get milk because the milk got hot, but we were not able to chill it down. Right? So all the milk has gotten spoiled. See, one thing that we did, Uncle, is, we communicated, right? Whatever problems we had, we communicated with our customers. If a price point was not working, we, wrote a letter to our customers saying that this price point is not working for us. Can you support us with a better price? Our first price point, and when we started, because I didn't know anything about our business, I didn't know how to price my product. My liter of milk was 44. Within 6 months, I figured 44 would not work for us. We increased it to 55. And all the customers supported us, even with 11 rupees price hike. That 44 today is 84. Because we figured this is what it takes us to reliably produce this liter of milk, right? Doing all of this tests, driving that value, giving them the customer that value. This is what we figured this over a period of time. But we and our customers traveled along together in this journey. I think that is where the trust needs to get built. Today we do it in many other ways, right? So every Saturday we bring our customers to the farm. We do an open house.
Yeah, I was watching you are conducting a drive with your customers, the farm visits and all.
Right.
So since you're mentioning that, and Sid's Farm is very well known for their no hormones, no antibiotics as a slogan. And how exactly you are sustaining in this competitive landscape? Because, you are competing with the giants.
Yep.
It might be the Amuls or Heritages or Milky Mist or any other Nandinis and Avins and all big players.
Yeah.
So how exactly is it working out for you?
Yeah, super, Uncle. I'm glad you asked me this question. See, we don't look at competition that way. We never have, right? See, that was, what I was sort of trying to see. India said, the price at which you should sell milk is, say, 50 rupees. We said, let's get to the best milk possible. When I say best milk, let's get into the depth to say there is never ever an antibiotic in milk. There's never ever a thickener in milk. There's never ever a preservative. Let us figure out what to do to get there. We're maniacal about testing, right? We spend 20 lakh rupees a month only on antibiotic and hormone testing today, right? We said this is what it will cost us. Now let us build that into the price. Let's go to our customers, and our customers will support us. Right? And that is how we built it, right? We didn't look at competition and say competition is selling milk at 50, let's sell at 50. We came from a different angle, and I think, talking about competition, we also give my gratitude, right? See, India 50 years ago did not have enough milk to drink as a country. We didn't have enough milk to drink as a country 50 years ago. Today, thanks to all the large dairies, right? Be it the Amuls, Nandinis, Avins, all the large cooperatives of India, all the large private dairies of India, Heritage, Dodla, Tirumala, all the large private dairies. Sorry, I might have missed few, Jersey, right? Thanks to all these large dairies, today India has enough milk to drink in the country. We solved the quantity problem. There's milk to drink. Let's acknowledge that. We've reached that point now. Now, our quest is, can we be the best in the world? Like every product, right? Why should I, say, the best products are made elsewhere? I want the best product to be here in let's build great products out of India.
So that's quite a journey. That's quite a journey so far you had with Sid's Farm. Was there any moment that made you or spark a thought about quitting this journey, and how did you bounce back from that lowest point in this journey?
See, several hard points, right? No money. 2014, within a year and a half of doing it, went all out of money, right? Less than 10,000 rupees. I came back, with a little over around a crore in savings, all gone within 1.5 years because the business took it, right? Rightfully. But see, I never really thought of quitting, right? I, kept going at it, kept solving, whatever came our way, survived thanks to all the wonderful people that worked with us, right? That supported. Today, if Sid's Farm is anything, it is all the people who shaped it, who treated it as their own and sort of brought us to here, right? Never, right? But today it is a responsibility. Maybe first 4 years or 5 years, I went through this. But today, it's an ecosystem of close to 600 people that we employ directly. Another 700 or so delivery partners that deliver our milk every day in the morning. These are, people who work for 3 hours with us, just early mornings they spend with us. Those guys, then ecosystem of 50 plus people who are riding all the vehicles, driving our milk around, and close to 5,500 farmers that we call as family, right? It's also my responsibility that we sustain it. Because that is the foundation. That is how you get to great quality milk, right? We're presenting 185 villages. There's a deep work that we just started. A lot more.
So there is a lot of impact angle for Sid's Farm,
Yeah.
which is directly or indirectly impacting the stakeholders in the dairy farming. And since you are a team person, who is that one go-to teammate during the chaos in your company? If there is anything like
the
that.
first 5 years, I was completely alone. I was a single founder, right? And a lot of problems. But along the way, right, all the people that joined me, right, I definitely shared a lot with them, and they took away a lot of the load and burden as we grew, as we got hit with more problems. Today, it is the strength of the team, right?
In this entire grind, in our earlier during the commute, you were mentioning the role of your better half. Would you like to just throw some spotlight on your better half? How crucial she was, in building Sid's Farm and supporting you in this journey all the way?
Yeah, absolutely. Hima, so I think she was the one who created our first logo. She was the one, who chose the name Sid's Farm, right? Because she felt like that would something that would resonate deeply with both of us as well as with our customers. Today, she is also the one that is deeply involved with our branding efforts, content efforts, right? In a brand's journey, right, it is important to say no to a bunch of things that come your way, right? And the rest of the journey, right, she never ever questioned me as to why am I doing all of these crazy things. She just supported me. She was always right. I mean, a lot of people get scared.
That's quite a breather, definitely, to have such kind of.
She never ever questioned me as to why am I doing all of this, right? And what little money I was bringing in, yeah, right. She never questioned any of that, never ever, right? So she was definitely a big part of support for me.
So, coming to the growth aspect of Sid's Farm, what's your proudest moment so far?
See, one thing I'm proud of is, I didn't realize this, but a few years ago, somebody asked me how many people do you support. Till then, I never realized that, we created a system of, an entity called SIDS that supports this much of the ecosystem. And we are still, a very, very man. But the potential of what we can do is what, inspires me, what makes me feel proud, right? I think we've created a good foundation. Now we have to take this.
After this journey, what would you like to say to that Kishore who started since in the beginning?
Yeah, I mean,
I hope you're not the same Kishore, the one who started back in 2012,
Yeah.
or 2010 or 2012.
yeah, 2012.
So-
So, you asked my wife, right? We just talked about my spouse, Hima, how I was in 2012, how I'm now. It definitely Sid's Farm transformed me, right? In ways I'm much more grateful in life for what I have. I'm very happy that I took this journey, right? In spite of the heads, in spite of the.
What does a winning Sid's Farm look like in the next 5 years?
We're aspiring to go public in the next 5 to 6 years. The only aspiration, see, public is a big word. And our aspiration is to take Sid's Farm to a level where Sid's Farm does its job, creates that impact. See, and a business has to keep growing. That is when innovation keeps happening. That is when you do the new things. You're always on your edge, right? And that is the only quest, right? To do whatever we are doing, better and better and better, right? People ask me this question, Kishore, as you grow, will you take shortcuts? Absolutely don't want to take shortcuts, right? Absolutely do it much more maniacally. I believe by the tagline, only the paranoid survive. We want to be really super paranoid, build a rock solid business that, we are proud of, that India can be proud of. That is our only quest. The journey, right? That those milestones, revenue milestones, all of that are just to make sure we keep growing. We keep pushing whatever we started ahead of.
Lovely, lovely. And I wish you all the best with your IPO, which you have aimed at. And please bear with us. Hope you're enjoying
Absolutely.
the conversation. And before wrapping it up, we will get into rapid fire questionnaire. Kishore Garu, before wrapping it up, we will dive into rapid fire rounds. Are you an introvert or extrovert?
Half and half.
work from home outfit. What is it?
I usually don't work from home.
Beach holiday or mountain escape?
Mountain escape.
One food you can't live without.
Rice and papu.
Absolutely. Morning playlist vibe, calm or high energy?
Calm.
Calm. Phone wallpaper, family, quote or brand logo?
Brand logo.
Brand logo. Celebrity you would love to have brunch with?
Vijay Devarkonda.
Great. Okay. Last photo you clicked on your phone.
Kids.
Okay. Netflix binge or YouTube deep dive?
Netflix binge.
One thing you are secretly addicted to?
I like to believe I'm not addicted to anything.
Okay. What's the last thing you Googled?
A place in Pune where to put our farm.
A dream car or bike which you would love to possess?
I'm always internally in conflict with that question. I'm happy with, my Tata now. So but sometimes,
Startup in one hashtag.
grit.
Your proudest moment as a founder?
Never thought of quitting.
Okay. Is there a plan B?
No.
One founder you look up to?
Nitin Kamath.
Define success in 3 words.
There's nothing called success.
Okay. Risk or routine?
Risk.
Office table must-haves.
A good diary and a pen.
So what's your why in one sentence?
Safe, trusted food.
Okay. Is it better to fail cheap or fail fast?
I would not want the fail word in my dictionary, right? So I have a conflict there with fail. Try cheap. Cheap, I would. Is what I would suggest.
What would you still build even if you had all the money?
I would get into chip manufacturing, semiconductor manufacturing.
Okay. That's a wrap with rapid fire. And this is Kishore Indukuri with us. Kishore's story is all about making bold moves and owning the outcomes. Thanks for joining us today, Kishore Garu.
Thank you, Uncle.
And hope you enjoyed the brunch with Boss.
It was wonderful. Had a great conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thanks. Without forgetting, do like, follow, and subscribe for more conversations with inspiring founders over Brunch with Boss. A big shout out to our host today, CO2 Brew House, the new destination of happening in Hyderabad, our gifting partner, Naila Air Water, our ecosystem partners, Octane, Giant Leaps, and Startup Spirit, and our production partner, Clip Hire. Signing off, #Brunch with Boss.